Good morning, everyone. How are we all feeling today? The weather's a bit more miserable, isn't it? But it's great to be with you for this Toddler Time. We've got a great story coming up, but a question to start us off. If you don't understand something, who do you ask? So understand means you're not sure about something. You don't know what to do. So if you don't understand something, who would you ask? Oh, let's say hello to some people. Hello, Catherine and Debbie. Good morning to you and to Lottie and Poppy. Great to have you with us. So if you don't understand something, who would you ask? Would you ask your mum and dad? Or maybe one and not the other? Would you ask your grandparents? Or other people who look after you? Maybe you would ask a school teacher. Maybe you might ask your vicar if it was something to do with church or to do with God. Who else have we got joining us? Hello, Rachel. So that's probably Layla and maybe Summer with us. Hello. So if you don't understand something, who would you ask? Oh, hello, Layla. Hello, Sarah. Good to have you with us as well. So understanding, that's what we're thinking about this morning. Understanding. Very big word, isn't it? But we're going to come back to that in a minute. But let's get wriggling and get all those wriggles out of our system. So, are you ready? I want to, I would say see some good wriggling, but I can imagine I want you all to be wriggling really well. Are we ready? Wriggle, 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 freeze. Do you all freeze? Wriggle, 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 freeze. I said I gotta get those wriggles out of me. Wriggle, 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 freeze. Wriggle, 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 freeze. I said I gotta get those wriggles out of me. Shake my hands, I'm gonna shake my feet, I'm gonna shake my head, I'm gonna groove to the beat. I said I gotta get those wriggles out of me. I said I gotta get those wriggles out of me. You ready? Wriggle, 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 freeze. Caught you out that time. Wriggle, 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 freeze. I said I gotta get those wriggles out of me. A skiddly scat, a skiddly do. I've gotta get the wriggles out of me. 'Cause I'm gonna hear a story, it's gonna be fun. Hearing about Jesus is for everyone. I said I gotta get these wriggles out of me. You ready? Wriggle, 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 freeze. Wriggle, 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 freeze. I said I gotta get the wriggles out of me. Have we got all those wriggles out? Are we ready to listen to our story? Let's see who else has joined us. Hello, Anne. So Liza, Lou and Lily, Anne, and we've got, oh, hello, Kerry. That's probably Lacey J, maybe Jordan, and hello, Joe. Good to have you with us. Excellent. Are we ready for our story? Well, Ruffles is here. Are you coming out, Ruffles? Oh, yeah, yes. Oh, he is coming. He's very wriggly. Oh, let's see. Oh, there we are. Oh, there we go. Oh, hello, Ruffles. How are you today? You're good. Looking forward to going for a walk later. Oh, yes, maybe we go for a good run and get those legs stretched and shaking ears. Oh, yes, you do like going for runs, don't you? Yes, well, we've got a story today, haven't we, Ruffles? And in this story, there's a man called Philip. We haven't met Philip before, but Philip was a follower of Jesus. So he believed in God and he believed in Jesus, and he did what they said. So one day when Philip was praying, what's praying? Well, we've talked about praying before, haven't we? Praying is when we talk to God and we listen to what God said. So Philip is praying, and God says to him, go out into the desert. Why would he go to the desert? Yes, well, the desert is a bit of a strange place to go because there isn't really many people in the desert. Well, God says to Philip to go to the desert road outside Jerusalem. And Philip, because he believes in God and he believes he should do what Jesus says, goes out to the desert road. And when he's there, he sees a chariot coming. Have you ever seen a chariot? We don't have them these days, but you might have seen them in a book. They have wheels and they're pulled by horses. And it was the way they used to travel before they had cars. And only the most important people had chariots. And God said to Philip, go over to the chariot and walk alongside. Don't chariots go very fast? Well, yes, they do. He probably had to run alongside, to be honest. So there's Philip running alongside the chariot. Oh, probably very out of breath. Can you do a bit of running? Oh, yes, getting out of breath. And the man sitting in the chariot is a very important man. And we don't know his name, but he's a man from Ethiopia. And this man is reading something. I wonder what he was reading. Do you know, Ruffles? Oh, Ruffles is going to show us. What's that, Ruffles? Was he reading a book? Oh, he was reading parts of the Bible. This is Ruffles' Bible. Will you hold on to that, Ruffles? So he's reading parts of the Bible and he was looking a bit confused. Could you do a confused face? And so Philip said, do you know what you're reading? Do you understand it? Do you know what it means? And the man shook his head. Can you shake your head? No, I don't understand it. I don't know what it means. Come into the chariot and explain it to me. So he hops into the chariot and he sits with the man. Here is a wonderful picture from Go Teach Resources which shows Philip talking to the man from Ethiopia and telling him what it says in the bit of the Bible that he is reading. And so Philip explains that Jesus died on the cross and came back to life. This is something that was pointed to in the Old Testament, the old bit of the Bible, which is what this man from Ethiopia was reading. And he said anybody who believes in Jesus and is baptised can follow Jesus and they will be saved. And so the man from Ethiopia saw a river ahead and he said, stop, to the chariot. Can you do that? Stop. A bit like in our song, freeze. And they stopped the chariot and they got out and he said to Philip, baptise me. I want to follow this Jesus. I believe in this Jesus. And so we talked about baptism last week. Baptism is a symbol of following and believing in Jesus. And so Philip and the man from Ethiopia got into the river and he was baptised. So that means he went under the water and came back up. Very good demonstration there, Ruffles. And that means symbolising bye-bye to my old life and I want to live a new life following Jesus. And so that's what the man from Ethiopia decided to do. And he came back up out of the water and Philip had gone. God had taken Philip away. He had done the work that God had sent him to do. And so what do you think the man from Ethiopia did? Well, he jumped back into the chariot and said, go! Not stop this time, but go. And they went on their way to Ethiopia. And this man, who was a very important man in Ethiopia, shared all about Jesus with many, many others. And so that is how the word about Jesus spread around the world. Isn't that really exciting? But, as we heard earlier, he didn't understand until Philip had explained. Let's pop your Bible back in your bag, shall we, there, Ruffles? Right. So I wonder what you sometimes don't understand. Now, if I didn't understand something that was in the Bible, I would probably ask somebody who maybe had been a Christian for longer than me. I might ask the vicar, so I might ask Darren because he's studied the Bible in some detail. I might ask somebody who's maybe a little bit older than me, has been in the church a lot longer, and I might say, I'm struggling with what this bit means. Will you explain it to me? But if it was something else, maybe if I didn't know where the biscuits were. Well, who would you ask if you didn't know where the biscuits were? You would ask Dexter. Okay, Dexter obviously knows where the biscuits are kept. So that's what Ruffles' dilemma's about. Well, I wonder what else though. If you were stuck at school, who would you ask? If you didn't know what to do when you were at home, who would you ask? Maybe you'd ask your teacher. Maybe you'd ask your mum or dad or your grandparents. There are lots of people that can help us when we don't know what to do and when we don't understand, aren't there? Okay, bye-bye now time, Ruffles. Yeah, say goodbye. Okay, we'll see you soon, Ruffles. Oh, he's going away. Oh, there we are. And I've got a new song for us this morning. One we haven't done on Toddler Time, but we have done in the past. This is called Who's the King of the Jungle? So you might want to put your crown on. You might even have a crown at home you could wear. I've got one on my shelf here actually, so I could put that on, couldn't I? There we go. Oh, it doesn't really fit on my head. But there we are. It might stay on for a little bit of the song. Or I might just give it to Ruffles in his bag. There we are. So I've got my crown. So you can put your crown on, and it's Who's the King of the Jungle? And then we have ooh, ooh, like the monkey. And then Who's the King of the Sea? Can you do a fish sound? Like that, okay? And they are the main bits of the song, but we're going to sing it now. Are you ready? So, who's the king of the jungle? Ooh, ooh. Who's the king of the sea? Who's the king of the universe? And who's the king of me? And then it goes, I'll tell you, J-E-S-U-S, which spells Jesus. He's the king of me. He's the king of the universe, the jungle and the sea. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Shall we do it again? Who's the king of the jungle? Ooh, ooh. Who's the king of the sea? Who's the king of the universe? And who's the king of me? I'll tell you, J-E-S-U-S. Yes, he's the king of me. He's the king of the universe, the jungle and the sea. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. So, a bit faster now. Who's the king of the jungle? Ooh, ooh. Who's the king of the sea? Who's the king of the universe? And who's the king of me? I'll tell you, J-E-S-U-S. Yes, he's the king of me. He's the king of the universe, the jungle and the sea. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. I hope you enjoyed that song. It is a really good, fun one. And I managed to even do my writing backwards so that you could read it forwards. I hope you're impressed. Right, it's time to say goodbye. So let's just say a prayer. Let's talk to God now. Dear God, thank you that when we don't understand things, you put people in our lives to help us, to explain them to us, and to help us know what to do. Help us to be brave and ask them when we don't know. Amen. Well, I think it's time to say goodbye. It's really wonderful that you have all joined me this morning, and to all those who have watched this a little bit later. See you next week. Goodbye.